I played Dragon Quest XI as my first Dragon Quest game ever. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I think this might be my new favorite game of all time. And I know that sounds crazy because for the longest time, Kingdom Hearts 2 was the game for me. That was my number one. But Dragon Quest XI hit me in a way I was not ready for. I came into this game because I love Akira Toriyama. I'm a massive Dragon Ball Z fan, like the biggest Dragon Ball Z fan there is. So once I found out Toriyama worked on Dragon Quest, I always had it in the back of my mind like, yeah, one day I gotta play these. But I did not expect this. I thought I was about to play a charming, classic, simple JRPG. Nah. This game turned me into a Dragon Quest fanboy. The reason I finally wanted to jump into Dragon Quest is pretty simple. I love Toriyama's work. Dragon Ball is one of the biggest reasons I even love this style of character design, adventure, monsters, villains, all of that. And then a couple years ago, I ran into Happy Console Gamer, who is a huge Dragon Quest fan. Happy Console Gamer, if by some miracle you're watching this, hook your boy up, bring me on the show, I'm just saying. But after playing stuff like Legend of Dragoon and Final Fantasy 15, I was already in that RPG mood. So I figured this was the perfect time to finally test Dragon Quest out. Originally, I wanted to play Dragon Quest 8 first, but 11 was more accessible. And I heard each game mostly has its own story, so I was like, screw it, let's do Dragon Quest 11. And man, I was not ready. The first thing that hooked me was obvious. The design. You can feel Toriyama all over this game. The characters, the monsters, the charm, the expressions, the world. It instantly gave me that feeling I was looking for. But what surprised me was the music. Bro, the music in this game is legendary. Like, oh my god, every song felt like it belonged in this big classic adventure. It gave the whole game this old school fantasy feeling. The game itself still felt modern. At first, some of the old school mechanics were kind of irritating, like having to go to churches to save, going to inns to rest, and all that classic RPG stuff. At first, I was like, alright, this is a little old school, but honestly, I started loving it. It made the game feel classic. It reminded me of being a kid again. It had autosave, yeah, but it still made me engage with the world more like an old school RPG would. And that's when I started understanding the whole Dragon Quest thing. It's not trying to be overly complicated, it's trying to feel timeless. The main character's story was interesting right from the start. You're climbing the mountain, you zap the bird, you save Gemma, and the game immediately has that classic hero journey feeling. At first I'm thinking, okay, this is gonna be a cool, probably not too epic, just a simple JRPG with monsters, towns, and dragons. But I was so wrong. I mean, so wrong, because the game just keeps opening up. You think you understand what it is, and it gives you a ship, and then there's mermaids, and then there's an underwater village, and then there's Vikings, and then there's the Midas touch, then there's a flying whale, and then there's floating islands, and then there's time travel, and then there's a crazy volcano forge, and I'm just sitting there like, stop, bro, stop. Oh my god, it just kept going, bro. And somehow it never felt random to me. It felt like this giant adventure book that kept turning pages. Every new chapter had something else waiting for me. That's what shocked me, man. This game does not let up. It just keeps going and going and going. And the combat felt so good. I mean, it was fluid. It was easy to understand, smooth. I don't think it was simple in a bad way. It wasn't overly complex, but it also didn't feel brain dead. To me, it was beautifully done. It gave me that classic turn-based feeling without making me feel like I had to read a textbook just to enjoy the game. Now, I will say this. Defend kind of felt useless unless you're waiting for like the pet powers. I'm sorry, but if I'm defending in a JRPG, let me get a little HP back or something. I think Legend of Dragoon had the right idea with that. Let me defend and recover a little bit, bro. But outside of that, I loved the combat. It was comfortable, it was clean, it let the characters shine. It made me actually enjoy the rhythm of the game. Now, the cast, bro. The party in this game, this cast is legendary. The hero is dope because obviously he's me and I'm the coolest person you know. But Erik, that's my boy, bro. I instantly loved Erik, the thief persona, but he's somewhat noble, he's kind-hearted, loyal, seeking forgiveness, and then when he gets that power boost later, bro, amazing character. Then you got Veronica and Serena show up, and they were perfect. That whole, we'll make sure no one defeats you vibe was so dope. Serena is so nice and pure, and Veronica's that spicy one who is always ready to talk crazy. They balance each other so well. Then Sylvando comes in, and I'll be honest, at first I thought he was kind of annoying, boring, a little weird, but man, he won me over. He ended up being funny, heartfelt, way more important than I expected. The character had so much life to him. Then Jade and Rab, loved both of them. Finding out how they're tied to your past was beautifully done. That whole reveal worked perfectly. It gave the story more weight, made the world feel more personal. But Hendrik, bro, I'm not gonna lie. At first, when Hendrik started trying to be good, I was like, man, out of here, bro. I did not trust this dude at all. But then you get to the moment at the castle, right? Heroes with Hendrik, you confront Jasper, and my boy protects me. He says he'll be the Luminary's sword, shield, and unwavering ally, bro. I was in tears. I was like, you go, Hendrik. That's when he got me. That's when I was like, okay, this cast is special. And then we gotta talk about Veronica, man. When Veronica died, it broke me. I cried like a baby, fam. I was not expecting Dragon Quest 11 to hit me like that. I thought this game was going to be charming and fun. Did not it got really deep and emotional like that. And then when you see her again, I cried tears of joy. That's when this game did so well. It gave me every emotion I had. I was happy. I was sad. I was angry, I was laughing, I was crying. I mean, it had death, it had adventure, it had goofy moments, it had serious moments, it had that classic fantasy comfort. But then it would turn around and punch me in the chest emotionally, man. And that's when I knew this wasn't just a good JRPG, this was special. And then the game does something I was not expecting. The post game is not just a couple bonus missions, nah. Act 3 is basically a whole other arc. A lot of games beat the final boss, roll credits, and then say, hey, here's like a couple extra like 1 or 2 missions to do. Dragon Quest 11 said, nope, we still got some story, fam. I love that. And I mean, I love that so much you have no idea. Because it made the world still feel like it mattered even after the credits. It made the journey feel bigger. It made me feel like I wasn't just cleaning up side content. I was still on an adventure. That is insane to me, man. And what I fully understand about Dragon Quest is after playing Dragon Quest 11, I get it now. I get why people love this series. It's not trying to be edgy. It's not trying to reinvent RPGs every 5 seconds. It's not trying to overwhelm you with a million systems just to prove it's deep. I mean, it's classic, it's warm, it's charming, it feels like comfort food, but somehow still feels epic. And that's so hard to pull off than people think, because simple does not mean basic. Classic does not mean outdated. Dragon Quest 11 feels like a game that knows exactly what it is, and instead of chasing trends, it just perfects that feeling. That's why it hit me so hard, man. My final verdict on it? Yeah, Dragon Quest 11 made me a Dragon Quest fanboy. I'm addicted now. I want to play every game in this series. I'm probably doing Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake next whenever I do play another Dragon Quest game. And I know this is a bold statement, but this game might be perfect to me. I don't really have any problems with it. The music, the characters, the world, the combat, the story, the emotion, the adventure. I mean, it all worked. It all was perfect. The craziest part to me is Kingdom Hearts 2 was my favorite game of all time for years. I mean, for a long time. But now it's number 2 because Dragon Quest 11 is my number 1. I mean, it's that damn good, man. Oh my god. So now I gotta ask y'all, if Dragon Quest 11 was my first Dragon Quest game and it hit me this hard, what should be my next Dragon Quest game do I need to play next? Because I get it now, I understand the hype, and yeah, your boy's officially a Dragon Quest fanboy. Till next time, peace.